the fuck is that?
This is BLEJE Talks.
I like it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to BLEJE Talks Footy. This is your host, Jonathan Martinez. You can follow me on Twitter at Johnny2Martinez. Basically, it's just going to be a quick recap of the Champions League action and Europa League action, unfortunately, from this week. We're going to start off actually just basically summing up what just happened today in the Europa League. United, unfortunately, well, not for me. I could care less if they win, but they failed to win away to Club Brugge, who are a very good team, actually, but United probably should have had enough to get the job done. Wolves absolutely smashed Espanyol 4-0. Just fucking high class. I don't know if they're world class, but they're top class midfielders in Moutinho and Neves just doing all the work. Diogo Jota getting on the score sheet 3 times. Arsenal pulling a win out of their ass away to Olympiacos, who we know have troubled Arsenal in the past in Champions League. I know, Champions League. Rip, unfortunately. Bukayo Saka once again gets an assist. Lacazette somehow scrambles a goal in. He's been in pretty poor form. Last game he got his goal. You could see the excitement in his face when he got a goal, and you could see it again today. Arsenal were very lucky to scrape that win, and but I don't care because you take a 1-0 lead into the second leg at home. It's one of the best scenarios you can have, unless Olympiacos show up with everything and all of a sudden score, but. We'll see. And I'm just going to dive right into the Champions League action. We're going to start off with Atletico Madrid hosting Liverpool, which I predicted correctly. Atletico Madrid would shut out Liverpool because Liverpool are a team that failed to make a boatload of chances. And it finished, Liverpool actually had the ball 73% of the time. It mattered nothing at all because they had 0 shots on target all game. Atletico got a scrambled goal from a corner in the first half, but they don't care. They got what they wanted, sat back after, closed the game out. Liverpool, in turn, ended up... So if you guys don't know what XG is, it's basically the expected goal system. And on expected goals, Atletico Madrid won 1.17 to 0.51. So of the chances that Liverpool scrambled to get, they didn't even complete one expected goal, where Atletico had 2 big chances where they probably should have scored, or at least over one. It was basically the way Simeone wanted. They wanted to get the quick goal because they knew Liverpool were dangerous. If that game would have opened up, it was all Liverpool's, but they managed to get that scrappy goal that Atletico Madrid would obviously always take, and they ran home with it. Well, I don't see them doing the same at Anfield, just because Anfield is Anfield. You never know. But kudos to Atletico and kudos to my God tier predictions. I do still see Liverpool going through, unfortunately. And we're gonna move on now to Dortmund versus PSG, who me and Carlos unfortunately predicted wrong. At least for the first leg, we both predicted PSG would go to Dortmund and win just because of the basketball game that it was going to be, and it was. But Dortmund probably should have felt very disrespected in the first half because PSG was letting them have all the chances they wanted. They went there with no respect towards Dortmund as an opposition, and it bit them in the ass. Erling Braut Haaland ends up with 2 goals. One of them a smashing top corner finish off of PSG's equalizer, and it really shows just how bright the kid is. Only 19 years old. It's been a while since I could call a football player a kid, but yeah, he's old. He's younger than me. Just top class. The game was pretty tight actually in terms of possession, 47 to 53, 3 shots on target to 3 shots on target. Very, very, very close. On XG, PSG actually won. It was 1.26 to Dortmund and to 1.36 from PSG. So PSG arguably, not arguably, they factually had more big chances, or at least they had one big one, and they had a lot of other ones that probably could have been a decent chance. PSG just had then Dortmund had a really good one, and then they had a couple other decent ones, but they in turn, made it easier for them to score, and they have a world-class striker who PSG should have, but didn't show up on the day. And I'm still gonna predict that PSG will lose this tie just because they're PSG. All right, moving on to Atalanta Valencia, which was very disrespected. I don't think anybody chose to watch this game. I'm in that pool. I had the laptop set up in front, but I realistically on the big TV obviously had the Spurs Leipzig game on, but I had it there. And I had said that Atalanta loves smashing teams at home, and that's exactly what they did. 4-1 at home to Valencia. Basically smashing, taking their chances. Because on XG, it actually finished to Valencia. So it was 1.84 to Atalanta and 2.83 to Valencia. So realistically, Valencia should have came out of this game with maybe not a 4-1 defeat. They probably should have had maybe a 3-1 win, but Atalanta was very, 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 very clinical in their chances. Valencia had maybe 4 really big chances right on the edge of the 6-yard box, and they did not take it. And it bit them in the ass. They end up going into the second leg at home, 4-1 down to a very strong attacking Atalanta side. And now on to Spurs hosting RB Leipzig, as Crowd likes to call them, right back Leipzig. I think this game went similar to the way we thought, where it'd be almost similar to Dortmund PSG, where it would be back and forth, just with less scoring. That Leipzig ended up taking the 1-0 dub off of a very, very obvious penalty for Timo Werner. He smashes it after a 5-game drought without scoring. He really needed that goal. In the first half, there was probably a couple chances he should have scored. It's probably why RB Leipzig ended with 2.5 XG compared to Spurs' 0.79 XG. Because Spurs didn't really create all that much. There was I think one in the second half. It was like right on the 6-yard box. It was decent, but it wasn't anything big. RB Leipzig ended up creating maybe, it says here, about 4 really big chances that they should have scored. And yeah, I would say that this game probably should have finished with RB Leipzig getting at least 3 goals. So I think it'll come to bite them in the ass in the second leg because Mourinho doesn't fuck around. And I think they'll end up getting knocked out. Okay, going into the weekend, I'm only going to cover Premier League football, and I'm only going to cover 3 games just because these 3 games are, well, one of them's close to my heart, and the other 2 are going to be really big. So we'll start off with for me in the West Coast. Obviously, if anybody's listening who's not from the West Coast, sorry, but it's a 4:30 a.m. kickoff for me for Chelsea-Tottenham, where Mourinho, like I said, for the Leipzig tie, he's going to pull one out of his ass because his team needs it right now. I hate Tottenham. Don't get me wrong, I hate Tottenham. But Mourinho will pull shit out of his ass if he has to. And he will do, without Son and without Kane. Oh, obviously Son, who just broke his arm, or fractured it, sorry. Chelsea, I think, have a lot of potential as a squad, but they're still growing. And Mourinho's got that X factor of just being him. he knows how to get around these times where this team maybe needs it more. He's being criticized, and this is where he pulls it out. I think he'll probably leave with maybe a 3-1 victory for Tottenham. Moving on to Leicester City hosting Manchester City, the Battle of the Cities. This one, if you asked me maybe 3 months ago, I'd answer that it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up between Leicester and City, but now I think Manchester City is more pissed off than ever to just win games, smash teams, because we know how they perform when they're pissed off. Leicester, who were, I'm not gonna say they're bad now, but they were really, really good the first half of the season. And when it came to those 2 games against Liverpool and City, who, to be fair, obviously you're not gonna expect them to win. But after those 2 games, they fell off. They didn't fall off completely off the hill like other teams did, but they've been struggling to win games, a lot of ties, a couple losses here and there. So I'm going to say Manchester City wins this one comfortably, 3-1, 4-1. I don't think Leicester's going to put much of a fight to them. And then the last one I'm going to cover is one close to my heart. Arsenal taking on Everton. Mikel Arteta manages for the first time against one of his former clubs. And I think he'll be up for it, especially because it's Ancelotti, who has brought Everton back from the relegation zone all the way up to, I believe, 8th place. So this is going to be a cracker. I think Arsenal's on a good run now. So it might be a bit of a basketball game. It might be a bit of a basketball game just because it's Arsenal at home. They love going forward and scoring, but it's Everton who in recent times have loved going forward and scoring. So this is going to be a cracker. And I'm going to say Arsenal takes it 4-2. 4-2. I see Arsenal taking it 4-2. And let's hope I'm right. So yeah, that's actually going to be the end of this short Bleach Talks Footy podcast. Be sure to watch the game, subscribe, follow. If you're on Apple Podcasts, you can subscribe there. Same on Spotify, same on YouTube. And thank you guys for listening.